All right, in the last video, I was talking and sharing about our beliefs and how our beliefs, depending on what they are, can be a hindrance to who we can become. And I mentioned in that video about where our beliefs are stemmed from or created, which come from agreements in our past. So if we want to be able to overcome beliefs and these belief systems that we have of ourselves, to be able to find a better way forward or a better, stronger version of ourselves for the future, then we have to go backwards into our past. We have to uncover our beliefs and get into our agreements, because our agreements are what make us have beliefs. It's the things that we agree to in our life that then formulate our beliefs. A lot of people, we can make it simple because a lot of people can connect to the idea of religion as a belief, right? So let's take someone that was raised in a religious home from birth. They were taught and shown a way of living, a way of thinking, a way of speaking, a way of acting based on a belief from the parents. So as the child grows up, they live in a home where they want to be accepted, they want to be loved, they want to be part of the community. So part of their upbringing, their agreement is already made for them to have a belief in this religion. Now this can go even to as far back as, not as far back, but as interestingly enough as like a mindset value of worthiness or being pretty or being successful or education. If you were raised in a home, or if someone is raised in a home as a child, in a home where both parents didn't go to college, both parents maybe the parents didn't graduate high school, maybe the parents don't have a very high paying job, maybe they struggle day to day. That is an environment that is created for a child to have an agreement to a belief system that they also don't have enough to be successful or to achieve more or to make more money, right? Unless the child breaks that agreement somewhere along its journey into adulthood, you are stuck with that belief in some way, in some form. So in the last video, I talked about the only way to overcome our beliefs is by challenging them. The only way through and to change and to dissolve old beliefs is to challenge them, right? So to do that, you have to go back into your agreements. Why do you believe in the things that you believe in? Why do you agree to those things? Because it comes from an agreement. If you didn't agree to something, you wouldn't believe in it. You know, we can look at the world right now and look at all this divide going on and all the different beliefs that people have because of the community that they're in and the agreements that they're making for themselves. Your belief is not concrete. And like I said, the funny thing about your belief is that you believe in it. And the only reason you believe in it is because you agreed to it, right? It's like, think about these things that you carry for yourself as people that follow sports teams. How quickly can people change sports teams because their favorite player goes to another team, or because they moved to a new city, or maybe a child was raised in one city, but then as a teenager it moved to another city and it changed their sports team. This is the same thing. You can change your beliefs in an instant as long as you're willing to agree to something new. But we have to go back into the past. You have to uncover your past. Through the uncovery, you can start to find the connections of why you started to agree to things, why you started to speak the way you speak, why you feel the way you feel, the way you think the way you think, the way you eat the way you eat, the way you speak the way you speak, the way you act the way you act, the way you work the way you work. All comes from the agreements of your upbringing. And if you've never challenged any of those agreements, if you've never looked back and say, hey, actually this no longer serves me, I actually could do better, I am better, I believe I'm better, I want to be better, I have faith that I'm a better version of this belief. If you're not willing to do that, you're not challenging yourself to overcome your agreements. We have to uncover, we have to unearth, we have to bring up those agreements. Yeah, you have to go back into it to rewrite beliefs. You know, I use these new terms that I use in my mentorship program, and it's part of writing these new contracts and ripping up old leases that we have. And so I've taken the two words, agreements and beliefs, and I've made new words to write these contracts. And one is your agreefs. a grief. So we bring in grief into it instead of belief. So we have a grief. So your griefs are your things from the past. They're things that are hindering you. There are things that are your self-limiting behaviors, your self-limiting thoughts. They're things that you are not allowing. They're the things that get in your way. They're the things that allow you to get in your own way. They're your griefs, your past. But then we take that and we look at it as we write all that down. We rip it up as a lease. It's a lease that you no longer want to pay into. You don't want to buy into. We rip that lease up and we write a new contract, which is our believements. It's our way forward. It's our future idea self, the future thinking, the future feeling, the future speaking, the future acting of who we want to become. And we write a new contract of our believements. And then we start acting in that way. So yeah, our agreements are what helped us to make our beliefs concrete. Because they're your beliefs doesn't mean that they're true, and it doesn't mean that they have to stay. It's not who you are as a person. It's just a belief that you have. And any belief that you have can be rewritten. But the only way you're going to believe, or your only way you're going to create a new belief is if you're willing to go into the past, you're willing to find where the agreements of those beliefs came from, and start to understand why you think that way, why you act, think, speak, walk, talk, live that way. We can rewrite the agreements, we can understand them, we can recreate new beliefs. We can write a new contract, our believements contract of who we want to become to be able to create this newer version of self. So if your beliefs aren't serving you, if your beliefs aren't who you are and who you want to be in your future self, I challenge you to go back into your past a bit. Why do you have these beliefs? What did you agree to in your past, in your upbringing, or in your young adulthood that made you believe this way? And I challenge you to possibly rewrite them. Write a new believements contract. It's a part of the process that I use in the Calm transformation process. Obviously, I dive deeper into that, but if you can get rid of your griefs lease and rewrite a new believements contract, you can start finding a way forward into becoming your greatest version of self. Keep discovering that greatness. Stay calm in your process. Be patient. Be kind to yourself along the way. Remember, you're unlearning a lot of history to rewrite a new version of self. It takes time. So be calm, be patient, be kind, be loving to yourself. Enjoy the process.